for our main event of the evening. The problem child, Jake Paul. Nathan Diaz. Let's.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike, Canelo Crawford. Crawford's in the building. Canelo fights this weekend. What do you think of that fight?
Where's the fight gonna be at?
Well, they say in Vegas, maybe in September, but Canelo's got to get through.
Well, I'll be there to find out.
There you go. There you go. What do you think about Jake Paul fighting Julio Cesar Chavez?
Beautiful.
Saturday's Jake Paul Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. boxing match in Anaheim.
You see what I see? You see what I see? You see what I see?
California isn't a title fight, or even a prelude to a title fight, but that doesn't render it meaningless.
1 + 1, please.
It's just the fighter stepping on the scale.
Scores in the way, guys.
Get stuff on that scale.
Professionalism.
That's you. $199.4. Good shit, baby. I like that. Who do you think you are? I am. Let's go.
Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Easy work.
Good money, baby.
Go.
Let's go. That scale was all over the place. It was like 200.2, then all of a sudden. We on, baby.
Amid the sport's lingering fascination with crossover or influencer fighters, those whose celebrity originated outside the ring, Chavez has a chance to expose Paul in a way many assumed Mike Tyson would last November.
Jake Paul is obviously, you know,
he's
big.
Beautiful. My family loves Jake Paul. Oh,
he's cool. Could you fuck him? Could you fuck him up?
Huh?
Could you fuck him up?
Oh, so fucking easy.
You think?
Yeah, but I would love him. I would never. I mean, it's my own fucking family. Everybody loves this little white motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yo,
And he
wait.
got balls. He got some fucking balls. When you see a white boy with balls, you know, fuck. I'm talking about from real, but like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, but you would, but time out. Would you? wait, would you pop?
Of course, Paul breezed by the former heavyweight champion, who looked every bit his 58 years of age during the 8-round snoozer. Worst of all, the fight failed to legitimize Paul and instead served to delegitimize influencer boxing in the eyes of casual fans.
You know, the people hate more him after that because it's no reason to fight Mike Tyson.
But people are saying like it's fake or, you know, Mike Tyson.
It's fake. You know, it's fake because, you know why? It's not because it's fake or fix it. Because it's fake, then a 60-year-old fighting at 27 years old is not a challenge. So it's not real, you know. So it's confused people like, oh, take care of Jake because he beat Mike Tyson. But it's not Mike Tyson, you know. So I'm confused, me too, you know. Like.
Live only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Enter Chavez, who previously said he'd retire if he ever lost to Paul, and now criticizes his upcoming opponent for taking the Tyson fight in the first place. Paul entered boxing and he's very popular, so he takes the right opposition, Chavez told Daily Mail ahead of Saturday's DAZN livestream. So he picked Tyson to make himself like more popular. I don't like this. Because Mike Tyson is a legend and he's a senior now, he's not active. So Paul didn't respect Tyson. Chavez can't match Tyson's credentials in the ring, but at only 39, the former WBC middleweight title holder is a warm body and not yet eligible for AARP membership.
I hope Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. beat Jake Paul. My support is with Chavez Jr.
Thank you.
The son and namesake of one of Mexico's greatest champions, Chavez has been fighting pro since 2003, when Paul was just entering in primary school. And unlike the former YouTube and Disney star, Chavez hasn't been forced to carry around the disparaging label of crossover fighter. These days, Chavez is less dismissive of Paul, who has worked himself into a capable boxer since entering the sport with knockout wins over YouTuber Anderson Gibb and former New York Knicks guard Nate Robinson.
Official weight for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., 198.4 pounds. Official weight for Jake Paul, 199.4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, live right here from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, we see the return of the former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and the return of the problem child, El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul, live on DAZN pay-per-view tomorrow night.
God has given me the ability. God has given me the strength. God is good. And the problem child's a real fucking dog. Ho, 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 ho. I'm knocking him the fuck out, Chris. Let's go, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
He's a boxer, you know, so that's the only word I can say about Jake's career, Chavez said. So that's it, you know. I want to see him with me. He knows how to fight, but I want to see him in different situations. Chavez's use of different situations is a bit cryptic, but he appears to be saying Paul has avoided any real danger in the ring, which may be true.
Daddy
does all the talking. I didn't know it was bring your dad to work day. You're nothing without your dad. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
You like old man, that's why I brought him, because maybe you like my dad.
Even in Paul's lone defeat, a split decision loss to Tommy Fury in 2023, the problem child wasn't dropped. In fact, Paul claims he's never even been knocked down in sparring. He captured the WBC middleweight title and improved to 46-0 and won with a TKO win over Ireland's Andy Lee in 2012.
But like he's got a lot of volume, a lot of experience, you know, typical Mexican fighter that has a lot of fights under his belt. And obviously he's going to get a good payday here. I don't think it's a good test for Paul because this is probably like the most like experienced boxer he's ever faced.
Oh yeah. If you guys have FanDuel, I do want to plug this real quick. They do give you a boost for Method of Victory. Or if you like Chavez, same thing. It's a 50% boost. I think depending on your account, I believe it's up to $100. So I do recommend using that boost for this fight. I like Jake Paul decision. With the boost, I got plus like 130 or 131, something like that.
And while that proved to be the peak of his career, Chavez has since fought and lost to highly rated pros like Sergio Martinez, Andre Fonfara, Canelo Alvarez, and Daniel Jacobs. These days, Chavez appears to be wrapping up a once promising career. He's fought only once in the last 4 years, beating converted kickboxer Uriah Hall by unanimous decision last July.
Stay silent till you hear a better fighter than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Bernal Whitaker, Roberto Duran, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Ricky Hatton, Vasily Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Jake Paul.
Prior to that, he dropped a 2021 split decision to UFC legend Anderson Silva, who actually lost a boxing match to Paul the following year. It was around this time that his career looked about finished. Both Chavez Jr. and his boxing brother Omar were told by their father to retire due to poor training and conditioning. I prefer that they retire if they are not going to prepare correctly, Chavez Sr. told reporters. They do not prepare in the best way possible to fight. Chavez Sr. had been closely involved with his son's training earlier in their careers, but there has been public friction between himself and Chavez Jr. in the last few years. The younger Chavez accused his father of domestic violence, while the elder Chavez offered some cryptic comments about his sons. Unfortunately, even though they saw all my stumbles and they saw all my drug addiction, it seems that they followed my behavior, and for me it has been extremely complicated and difficult, because I know what it's like to be locked up.
This is going to be the toughest fight of his career, the most embarrassing fight of his career. He's going to be exposed.
Julio, que te va a romper tu madre, güey. Más.
No, I don't think so.
How do you think this fight plays out?
You know, I break him down, you know. He's always the young man, the stronger guy in the ring. So for the first time, I want to put him back, make him work, you know, extra work.
Now, though, Chavez Jr. said he and his famous father have a good relationship, although the Hall of Famer hasn't been involved in his son's training for Paul. When you say you have a good relationship, it's because you have problems before, Chavez Jr. told Daily Mail. So yeah, we have great relationship. Still have some disagreements, but I'm okay. Chavez's father isn't the only boxing figure to criticize his dedication to training.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Speaking with Bloody Elbow ahead of Saturday's fight, longtime boxing commentator Max Kellerman acknowledged, Jake is a larger guy naturally, and like I said, he is a dedicated fighter. Chavez has not been. But in speaking to Daily Mail, Chavez insisted he's had a good training camp and dismissed any notions of ring rust, saying he stayed active in the gym despite his relative inactivity.
Can Chavez do this? Here we go. DW at Walmart.
Let's go. Okay, let's see. Whoa.
Depends how you stay in the gym, Chavez said of avoiding ring rust. You're still sparring, you stay in the gym, focused, ready. I don't think that's too bad. But if you don't train, stay out the boxing and try to come back 2 months, be back. Of course, it's not good. The best is to stay active and train. Chavez has dealt with his share of issues away from boxing. Like his father before him, he's battled substance issues. What's more, he's been arrested on drunk driving charges and for allegedly possessing a ghost gun.
Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
I think it's one of his toughest fights.
It's definitely his toughest fight. Jake, I feel like, has gotten stiffed a few times this year with who his opponents were gonna be. This is what I don't understand about people hating on him. He's not fighting tomato cans. Every single person that he fought had a chance to beat him. And by the way, people believed that they were probably going to beat him.
Every time.
This guy is a real boxer. So it'll be another opportunity to show that Jake Paul is a real boxer.
He would later plead not guilty in the firearm case and agreed to enter residential treatment program. But for all of those distractions in his recent past, Chavez insists his life now revolves around the gym. Train hard, rest, eat, focus, he said. I trained for 5 months, rested a month, then started running, training, And now I already have 3 months of sparring.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a former world champion, a cruiserweight world champion, the same weight as me, the same size as me, and 20 years more pro boxing experience than me. For you inbreds, let's get the excuses out of the way. Last week, Paddy Pimblett beat Michael Chandler, and the whole world lost their mind. But not a single person mentioned Michael Chandler's age, and that's because he's still within his prime ages. The same age as Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. If people didn't have a problem with Paddy, then why do they have a problem with me? So when I beat him, don't even try to cry about his age.
He may not be putting the finishing touches on a Hall of Fame career, but Chavez has the chance to make a statement against Paul. And if that ultimately derails influencer boxing, then it would stand as the most impactful victory of Chavez's underappreciated career. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.